Well, as much as some of us don't like to say it, fall is here. Winter is around the corner. Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Randy Kay is here to talk about how we can transition gracefully into this fall season. Is that even possible?
Yeah, it is. And it comes from embracing each season. So one thing I like to do with, when I talk about self-care practices and what I do with my clients is taking nature into consideration, taking the seasons into consideration, because when we can do that, then we have like all of these forces to support our practices and support nurturing ourselves. And so I've come to really love fall and winter. I get excited. I get excited for fall, obviously, because fall is exciting and beautiful and crisp and a change. But then winter's here and we're usually like, oh man. Yeah. But winter is also a wonderful time because it gives us an excuse to slow down and hibernate a little bit and do some reflection and do some preparation. So when spring and summer come, we're ready for it, and we can then embrace that season. So there's a lot of fun things that we can do, and I was actually really excited for the earlier guests because they were perfect examples of how to embrace the coming season. So having some sort of retreat where you can reflect and connect with others, even having a yoga practice where you can continue to move your body is really great. I have a journaling retreat coming up on Saturday. To help with the season changes, I like to do a journaling retreat at my studio, and it's a way that we can use journaling as a way to tune in and slow down and use it as a healing practice, but it's also an environment to talk about, okay, well, how do we want to live right now? What kinds of things can we be doing right now? So,
because when I was sitting here with you just before the segment, I was saying, there are some things that you get so excited for, but then it seems like we just kind of close ourselves off. After a certain point in the year, we close ourselves off, but that's when you really should embrace closing yourself off, too, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's a balance, because even in the summertime, we get so excited and we're traveling and we're doing this and we've got, all sorts of programming in the summer that we can max ourselves out. And just like in the winter, we can become more of a recluse and shut ourselves off. But when we tune into the essence of each season and promote that in our lives, then it can actually be a healthy activity. So it can be healthy to sleep a little bit longer, to go to bed a little bit earlier because we don't have as much sunlight, to take on creative tasks like me and my girlfriends like to nerd out and like knit and craft, and that's like we have like our crafting lists going on, and that's like something that we can look forward to. So when we can create things to look forward to, that helps us enjoy it more. So it's not just isolating, it's not just the cold. I mean, you see the animals outside right now in the fall, they're gathering their nuts and they're, even migrating, but they're preparing for this sweet time of hibernation. And you see like the trees even, they're letting go of things that they don't need. And that's another wonderful thing about the fall. It kind of feels like spring in a way of where like we're craving that like simplifying and decluttering and, asking ourselves like, okay, what do I want to take into the winter? Like, what do I want to have with me in my hibernation bubble? And what should I let go of? And that's anything from the stuff that we own to relationships, emotional patterns. And so all of those questions we kind of will dig into in the autumn retreat, but you can just simply ask yourselves that on your own too. You might already be doing that without thinking about it consciously, but these things that we crave in the fall, like the spices and the pumpkin flavored things and the cozy sweaters and stuff, like that's actually really wise, and to embrace that can be really healthy for yourself.
Talk about your journaling program on Saturday. I mean, do you sit down and do you sort of guide people through something, or they just start writing? Or?
Yep, so it's at my studio on 8th Street in downtown Fargo, and it's going to be a combination of yoga, breathwork, meditation, and journaling and discussion. And so it's an opportunity to really connect the mind and the body in a way that we can process things physically through stretching, through opening up, through breathing techniques. And it's not like advanced yoga or anything like that. It's more of just therapeutic movement. And then we'll pause in between, write down what we felt, ask ourselves certain questions. We'll go over different ways of using journaling in your life, so different practices like a gratitude practice or a free write or how you can tell a story to process emotions and things like that. And then we'll bring it back into our bodies through breath work and meditation. I'm going to make us some nice little treats, and I'll provide journals, and it's just this nice, cozy way to connect with a lovely group of people, but also with yourself on a more intimate level.
Go back to the story thing. How to tell a story what?
Yeah, so you can use writing. You know, I've had a journal since I was a little kid, even when I called it a diary, like a princess on the cover. But, you know, you write down your day. You tell a story about your day, and that's good for record keeping, but it also can help you process things, especially when you have an event that maybe you didn't get closure with a person on, or it's a memory that keeps coming up to you. Like, where do you find meaning in that? And so when you write it out, and the details that you choose and the tone that you use can really reveal to you what there is to learn from that situation, and what you can either take on into a conversation with someone, or like just keep it within and be like, okay, I'm gonna heal from this, and just use that journaling to process it out of your mind.
Yeah, because sometimes saying it out loud or writing it down makes you realize, oh, I'm still holding this grudge, or I'm hanging on. And as you said, fall is a good time to let go of some of those things. Yeah, and it's a good way to prep for an important conversation too. Like, you can do like a brain dump of all of like your feels and emotions and like things you're not proud of and don't really want to say. So then when you talk to that person about it, you're a lot more clear, and you have certain points that you want to.
Then you burn that piece, right?
And you burn it. Yeah, there's all sorts of fun rituals with that.
Great to have you here as always.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Guys.
All right, stick around. We're going to wrap things up right after this.